Hi everyone! Today I'm investigating a new tool that I've never seen before. When I say new tool, it's definitely not new. It's been around for quite a while. It's new to me and I'm very intrigued. It's commonly known as a fluid pen, but the Kingart brand that I got on Amazon is called a painting pen. And there's actually two in the set that I got. There's a fine line and an extra fine line. The fine line is 0.5 millimeters and the extra fine line is 0.25 millimeters. So they both have that little red plastic protection because the nibs are pretty fragile, I would think. And there is also a very thin cleaning tool to prevent clogging. Those pens kind of remind me of a mix between a dip pen and an airbrush. There's an open reservoir and you have to just put whatever liquid you want in there. So the cool thing with these pens is that you don't need to just have ink in there. You can put some watercolor or diluted oil paint, or, it has to be fluid enough to go through the nib. And as long as you take good care of them, that you clean them well after each use, then yeah, you can use anything you want in them. I believe that originally they were used, and actually they still are, to touch up paint on cars. Like if you have a scratch or a chip, then some people will use this kind of pens to touch up all those little chips missing on your paint. So this is the very first time I'm trying this pen. And I decided to use the extra fine one, and I used fountain pen ink with it. It's diamine and the color is sapphire blue. The reason why I decided to pick the fountain pen ink is because those are more fluid and they're less prone to clog. So I used a pipette and I put a little bit of ink in that reservoir. And to get the ink flow started, I used a cleaning tool and poke through the ink in the hole, and then the ink started flowing very easily. The flow is very regular and very even. It's super nice to write with it. It's just a little bit awkward at first because you need to find the right angle for your style, but once you have, then it's pretty easy. So I decided to do a little sketch, nothing special, just a quick little thing, not a piece of art. And I found that it was not as easy as I thought. And the main reason is that even if it's like 0.25 millimeters, because the ink flow is very rapid, very smooth, and you have to keep it at a certain angle for it to flow, you always have the same width. The lines are always the same width, the same size. And so there's no variation at all. It wouldn't be so bad, but I thought the ink was flowing too much. Like when you use a pen, a fine liner, for instance, you can still have differences with the pressure you put on it. So you can have darker lines and lighter lines. These are just all the same. So it's a little hard to work on the values, and it stays wet because there's a lot of ink going through pretty fast. So it stays wet for a while. So you got to be careful not to make a mess. So I think to use this as a liner, unless you do something much bigger than this and you want all your lines to be identical, that would be nice. Just to do ink sketches, it's not the best. I would rather use a dip pen, really. That said, I think I found a great way to use this tool with either, with paint in general, but I'm thinking particularly gouache, where I can thin down a little bit of gouache and draw lines that would be harder to draw with a brush. It would be nice and even. I could probably even use a ruler. So that's something I'm going to definitely try in the future. So anyways, that was my little discovery of this painting pen or fluid pen. It's a nifty little tool that can also be used for calligraphy. I've seen a lot of people use those for calligraphy, and it seemed to work very well for that. So there's many uses for this pen. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to support this channel and you're feeling extra generous, you can also click on the thanks button right next to the share button. Thank you everyone for stopping by. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye bye.